My lords and my lady, the Senate has largely complied with the directives of the court. Was by the last time when we were here, the bill, so that is the Division of Revenue Bill, which had been initiated by the National Assembly, had collapsed. Since then, we have had a process whereby each house, and may I say, my lord, we have filed this report in terms of an affidavit which has been sworn by the clerk of the Senate on behalf of the Speaker and the directions and authority of the Speaker of the House. So, my lord, each of the two houses did initiate their own version of another fresh Division of Revenue Bill. And the first to do so was the Senate. The reason why we initiated a fresh bill, my lord, is two reasons. One, because this court did advise in advisory opinion number 2 of 2013 that Division of Revenue Bill is an ordinary bill. That was the decision of the majority, and therefore it can originate from either house. Secondly, because we wanted to hasten the process, so we very fast initiated a bill. That bill went to the National Assembly and was read the first time, but was withdrawn at some point by the National Assembly through a communication from the Speaker. So, as we were trying to figure out what to do next, we received another version from the National Assembly. And Senate, always being the sober house that doesn't want to get to mess up national processes like this one, we did process the Division of Revenue proposals that came from the National Assembly, notwithstanding that they had withdrawn our own version. The status as we speak now, my lords and my lady, is that the two houses have been unable to agree. The figure that came from the National Assembly was amended by the Senate, and therefore yesterday, we did get a message from the National Assembly conveying the rejection of the Senate amendments, and therefore the mediation process is supposed to commence on this version of the bill. This morning, we have received the proposed names of members of the mediation team from the National Assembly, and immediately after this session, we will be conveying also our names of mediators. Therefore, largely, my lord, the process is at the tail end, because hopefully that mediation should be able to generate some consensus, hopefully. The second point, my lord, I want to report to the court, which is not in the affidavit, is that the Senate also passed a resolution on 7th of August, not really a resolution, but the Speaker did direct the Committee on Finance and Budget of the Senate to convene a consultative forum involving all the key stakeholders, namely the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, the Attorney General of the Republic, the Controller of Budget, the Council of Governors, and this did happen. This forum did happen on Tuesday. And that forum, I'm happy to report, my lords and my lady, did generate some progress in the form of the Treasury agreeing that since the money being contested is less than, or rather what is being contested, the minimum proposal is 316 billion from the National Assembly. So it was agreed that the National Treasury can release any money which is less than that minimum. Although that proposal again was amended thereafter to provide that the Treasury will only release a figure up to what was disbursed to counties last year as an interim measure without prejudice to the ongoing negotiations. And then the negotiations, of course, will arrive at a final figure. But that was made subject to an advisory being done by the Attorney General, which we are waiting for today. And therefore, I'm happy to report there could be some progress again informally, where counties can ameliorate the crisis by accessing some funds, which cannot exceed half, 50% of 314 billion, which is the amount which was released last year. Finally, my Lord and my Lady, in view of those two developments, it is our considered view that this court, in spite of the progress made, should continue and help the country in terms of determining this reference, because there are broader issues that are not necessarily directly touching on the Division of Revenue Bill of 2019. And therefore, for posterity and for the sake of strengthening, entrenching devolution in this country as a key component of our constitutional order, it is our humble submission that in spite of the progress made, in spite of a possible compromise and possible mediated outcome of the bill, in spite of the counties being able to access some funds in the interim, this court should continue and hear the parties and make a determination in this reference. That's all, my Lord and my Lady. This affidavit, my Lord, should be on the record. It is sworn in by Eunice Kishangi, who is the Senior Deputy Clerk of the Senate,